But no, let's get into our hot topic, which is the haberdashery that unfolded at the Capitol of our country yesterday.
Like, what the heck happened yesterday? We had a completely different show ready for you guys, and then last night happened.
And then, yeah.
So as many people, or all
Straight
of us at
pandemonium.
this point,
I mean, like,
Sheer pandemonium.
Oh
What
like
the
it
heck?
just went from like 0 to 1,000, and
Right?
it just was like for a really long time, just like, what is happening?
Uh-huh.
When are they going to get this under control? So as you guys may know by now, Trump supporters stormed the Capitol yesterday while Congress was set to confirm that President-elect Joe Biden won the election. Okay, that was me like extremely biased. They were basically just trying to certify the electoral votes and make sure that everything was fair.
That's it.
But
That's all they were trying to do, guys.
they were trying to do their jobs for once, you know, on time. The Senate had to actually evacuate the building. Staying away from doors. They were told to stay away from any exterior doors and windows because people were actually breaking glass trying to get into the Capitol. One woman was actually fatally shot, and 3 other people, we found out this morning, passed as well from medical emergencies at like
Resulted
caused
from
by-
the,
caused by the whole situation. On top of that, the mayor, I didn't put his name down.
The mayor of DC.
of DC extended a 15-day public emergency. So I don't actually know what that means.
Muriel Bowser.
Thank you.
Black woman at that. Amen, sister. Sorry.
Don't know what that actually means when there's declared a public emergency. Like, does that mean
what does that
there's going to
mean?
be a curfew for 2 weeks? Also, if you recognize the length of time, 15 days, that's until inauguration. That's the day after inauguration.
So that makes me feel better because that was one of the concerns that we've had following up from this is what's inauguration day going to look like after this haberdashery
Happened.
It's one of my favorite words today.
yeah, that's
great
twice
way
you've
to-
used it in the last 5 minutes. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I've never
It's
heard
a great
that word
way
really.
to explain it, what happened yesterday. I like dumpster fire, you know.
That's a good one. That's a great one.
But yeah, so you know, we got to watch all of this unfold live because the media is obviously there to record the proceedings with the Senate, and
It was hard for me to get work done yesterday.
I couldn't think about anything else. I was actually in a long meeting and it popped off mid-meeting, and I just looked at Twitter on one of our breaks and it was going on,
Just
and I was
blowing
like,
up.
oh
Just blowing
my
up.
gosh, what's
Yeah.
happening?
yeah.
And I'm not surprised simply because this kind of started the night prior.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be like a Save America parade that they were doing
Yeah,
at
there's a
11
big push
a.m.
for it.
yesterday.
Yeah, big push
It
for
was
it.
the
And-
March for Trump parade.
Yeah.
I thought.
And that was it.
Okay.
Save America was,
Oh,
you know.
no, it's the March for Trump parade. Come on, guys.
But so people started lining up even the day before yesterday for that, and stuff popped off then. So I kind of figured when stuff was popping off on Tuesday night for something that was supposed to be happening on Wednesday, I was like, this
isn't a good sign.
No.
Yeah, it's
And-
already, yeah.
and I feel like that largely is the whole point I want to make on all of this is like, where was the security at?
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
that just seems crazy to me that you guys had people acting a fool the night prior
Mm-hmm.
to the event,
Mm-hmm.
and you already knew what the Senate was doing
Mhm.
on Wednesday. And these people were going to be out here at 11 a.m. on the same day, and somehow they were understaffed.
And let's not even that, but the fact that Trump's people, his supporters, have literally let us know that this is what they've intended.
Yeah.
They've literally told us, and they've been talking about this for months now, that something like this was going to happen. But you guys weren't prepared?
But are mighty prepared when people want to peacefully protest
For
over
Black Lives Matter.
you know. We won't go there.
They
but
literally
we
had
need to go there.
They had National Guard littering the stairs of the Capitol
Yeah.
when we were protesting for Black Lives Matter.
Like there wasn't even a protest set up, and they were like, enlist the National Guard, you know? And
Just
it was
pro-
like, okay,
Right.
but like for what?
And then with yesterday's situation, the National Guard wasn't even called until Pence.
Until after the fact.
hours after the fact, and Pence had to call them in because Trump wouldn't.
Wasn't. He was like, I'm not convinced to call them yet. I'm like, dude, you're trash, first and foremost. On top of all of that, because we were watching this live, we got to see what these rioters, stormers, whatever you wanna call them, were doing
firsthand.
And there was just a lot of foolery. Those involved were taking selfies. They were taking pictures of and stealing federal documents. They were stealing miscellaneous items from the building, like podiums.
I saw a speaker getting passed around a crowd, like a speaker. What are you gonna do with that?
Yeah. They were in Nancy Pelosi's office with their feet kicked up on the desk, like they ran the place. And it was all just really complete and utter circus. And I think that everyone involved, including the Senate, should be embarrassed.
It was really embarrassing to watch.
It was embarrassing to be a part of it, to know that this is our government.
Yeah.
These are our people.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're not really my people. I wouldn't claim them, but like, we're all Americans at the end of the day. And we look crazy to the rest of the world. And you know, everyone is sitting here laughing. Trump is at this point just riling everyone up, and it's all based off of false claims. And now people have taken it to the utmost extreme and stormed a federal building in the middle of proceedings with elected officials, and some people were armed. People died. Okay, yes. I think that really at the end of it all, like, the fact that people died is what should be like highlighted, emphasized. Nobody should have died yesterday, and this should have never happened.
And I truly feel like Trump's behavior or outlook on things right now is like, obviously he was still trying to fight. He didn't want this. He wanted this to get turned over in his favor. Okay. Yes. So he's been trying to fight this whole time. However, I feel like he does have this attitude of just like, it's not going to be my problem any longer. So I don't really care what happens right now.
And not only that, but he's just completely delusional. He's like, when all of this happened, he's like, well, this is what happens when you steal an election from the good people of America. And they're just doing what, they should do, that they're being upstanding citizens, but go in peace and love. Dude, first of all, if you show up with weapons, there's no peace to be had. Love. Okay. Secondarily, you did this. And I don't understand. He's completely delusional, and it's like he's just lying, and there's nothing to back his lies. Yeah. But people are just like blindly following it.
Yes.
And that's what's the scariest part to me, is that you're not even like taking a beat, or
he's not taking any responsibility for it.
None of it.
He's not.
None of it.
One of the other things that I saw this morning was that they've only made 52 arrests total.
You guys.
There was over 14,000 people there. And we know there was hundreds of people running through the Capitol. Thousands of people running through the Capitol.
Thousands.
And we've only made 52 arrests.
Least not forget, in the middle of a pandemic.
Do we also not want to talk about how many people were arrested during the protests for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor?
Right.
Because there's been 14,000 plus arrests made in those protests. But y'all could only find 52?
52 people. I think everybody should be arrested. I think everybody should lose their jobs. I think everybody should, I don't know.
That reminds me. There was actually somebody there in the crowd who was a recently elected representative for, I believe, West Virginia, who was stupid enough to tell on himself and say, we did it, we made it, we're in the Capitol, said his first name and his last name and said, I did it, I made it, I'm in the Capitol, while flashing the camera to his face multiple times. So, sir, I would just like to say to you right now, you about to lose your job.
You about to lose your job.
You about to lose your job. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, sir, that was just dumb.
You know what?
You are dumb.
He wanted to lose his job. It just really makes me mad. The double standard and the hypocrisy of it all.
Really, we have to sign off here, but I want you to bring up this. Oh, my bad. Read this right here about Kaepernick. You want me to do it?
Can I finish?
My bad.
You just stormed her building.
I saw the time and I was like, we gotta wrap up.
All of that. I wanted to just say, like, I'm extremely upset with the double standard and the hypocrisy of all of this. If you don't believe that there is systemic racism and just white privilege, this was a testament to it, because we all know what the difference would have been. And to read this quote, this is actually, I put down a few of my favorite tweets from yesterday. Yashar Ali, and his Twitter name is @Yashar, said, "A reminder that the people who breached security today at the Capitol find what Colin Kaepernick did to be offensive."
Thank you.
Colin Kaepernick took a knee
That's all he did.
to protest the killing of Black people by police.
Thank you.
And everyone made sure that he lost his job.
Thank you.
These people stormed a federal building in the middle of a proceeding where they were trying to confirm our next president. Everyone needs to go to jail.
And you want to talk about how you're disrespecting America by taking a knee and how unpatriotic that is, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Why were they storming the Capitol, taking down American flags and replacing them with Trump flags?
And
talking about respecting America
with Confederate flags.
Right?
You guys are trying to, it's crazy. The argument is that, this isn't a fair democracy. The election was stolen. What you did yesterday was insanity. Okay?
Purely.
Like, you cannot actually believe in democracy and think that you're going to storm the Capitol and somehow steal the election from Biden and somehow give it to Trump. Like, what was the end game yesterday? Everyone involved.
That is a very good question. What was the goal there? It's a revolution.
To show that they could do it, like, I don't know, but it was a mess and a half, and I'm just like really upset to be a part of it, honestly.
Oh my gosh. No,
another embarrassment for our country, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Completely.
No, it really is. And I honestly, what I would love to take now moving forward is, like, anytime people want to argue and say, what is white privilege, or it doesn't exist, it isn't real, this is literally going to be my favorite example to use
Every time.
because everybody knows now. Everybody knows about all the BLM protests.
We watched it.
Everybody knows about what happened here. So anybody with any kind of brain or conscience will know the situation, and the comparison is night and day different. So don't tell me that they do not have privilege.
Absolutely. I mean, they showed up with their faces uncovered.
Uncovered,
foremost.
right?